Hey Fit fam, my name's Aurora and I'm the nutrition coach here at the Beaver Creek and Kettering Fit Body Bootcamp locations. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all 5 rules or guidelines to follow to help you change your body composition and to really build that lean muscle and lose that stubborn body fat. So the first kind of guideline I'm going to share with you guys is to eat more often. So the goal is you want to eat about every 3 to 4 hours. So in my consults, I recommend eating 4 to 6 meals a day, which is generally a lot more than what my clients are used to eating. And spacing those meals out about every 3 to 4 hours, like I said. But really just whatever makes sense with your schedule right there. So kind of do the best you can with that. A lot of people are kind of initially a little bit intimidated by eating in this way. But remember that you don't need to eat necessarily like a full-on meal. You can always have like a well-balanced snack. So just eating something every 3 to 4 hours is the main goal here. So eating this way is really going to help you stabilize those blood sugar levels so you don't get that kind of midday energy crash that a lot of us experience and that awkward gap between lunch and dinner. It's also going to help prevent you from getting that hangry feeling that we sometimes get, where we need to just grab the first thing that we see, right? So this is going to help you make good choices in the long run also. So rule number 2 here is to include protein-dense foods in each meal and snack. So including these protein-dense foods is going to help you feel full. It's going to help you rebuild your muscle that you break down from doing your workouts. A lot of protein-dense and high-quality proteins are going to come from those animal foods. So think like, chicken, beef, fish, dairy, things like that. But vegans and vegetarians, they just need to be a little bit extra careful. They can still definitely get all their protein needs in though. For them, that might be things like beans, lentils, nuts, or tofu. It's also important to remember that we can only store so much protein in our body at one time. So the body really does need those protein stores to continuously being replenished, which is exactly why we recommend you eat those moderate amounts of protein at regular intervals. So again, going back to that rule number 1, eat some protein every 3 to 4 hours with your normal meals or snacks that you're having there. So rule number 3 is going to be include vegetables in every meal or snack. So you've always been told since you were little, make sure you eat your vegetables. It still applies here. So vegetables are full of antioxidants, minerals, vitamins, fiber, and phytonutrients. They're also really low calorie, but really high volume, and they have a lot of fiber to them. So both those things, being high volume, high fiber, is really going to help keep you feeling full. They're also really high in water, so it's going to actually help keep you hydrated at the same time. You can have these at snacks. You can have them at meals. So some snack examples might be having, some cucumbers with some hummus. You might have some carrots with some peanut butter. You can always throw some vegetables, maybe some steamed vegetables as a side for your lunch or for your dinner. And it's super easy to always throw some spinach in, your protein smoothie, something like that. So rule number 4 here is going to be to save carb-heavy meals for after exercise. So your carbs are going to be things like your starchy vegetables, might be, your potatoes or your beets, grains, which might be your rice or your oats, and of course fruit counts as a carb as always. But research actually shows that the body is able to better process those carbohydrates in about a 3-hour period following those intense exercises like, your Fit Body Bootcamp workouts. But consuming the carbs during this specific window is going to help you replace your muscle glycogen stores that you depleted during your workout. It's also going to help to improve recovery so that you're not quite as sore the next day. You're able to bounce back a little bit faster. So rule number 5 here is going to be to include a good balance of healthy fats in your diet. So dietary fat is absolutely essential, right? So, the low-fat diets from the 80s, it made it seem like if you eat fat, you get fat. That's absolutely not true. So fat is important for so many different processes in the body, but I just like to highlight that it's really important for the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, so A, D, E, and K. It's also really important for the production of hormones, too. So there's 3 main types of fat. There's saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated. And the goal is to eat all these 3 in a healthy balance. So for most Americans, you're most likely already getting enough saturated fat in your diets. Most of these foods they come from really big protein sources. So, think like your animal products like meat and dairy. That's where you'll get a lot of your saturated fats from. Your monounsaturated fats, they could come from some nuts, olives, olive oil. Those are all some really great sources. As far as the polyunsaturated, you could get this from flax seeds, fish oil, and again, some mixed nuts or something like that. So fat in general is very satiating because it slows digestion. So therefore, it's really important when we're trying to lose weight because if we feel fuller longer, then we're going to eat less throughout the day and we're consuming less calories. All right, everybody, that's it. So that's the 5 guidelines to optimizing your body composition. So just to recap really fast, those 5 rules are to number 1, eat every few hours. Number 2, to include protein-dense foods at every meal. Number 3, include vegetables at every meal or snack. Number 4, to save those really carb-dense meals for right after your workout in that 3-hour window. And number 5 is to include a good balance of healthy fats in your diet. I hope you guys learned something new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.